All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, the ones to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the icon pushing his word with truth and sincerity and with charity. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, whom the word can calls God and Jehovah. Bahasham is in the name. Yahweh Shai is his son's name, who the word can calls Jesus and Jesus. And Rachakodash is the Holy Spirit. As always, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true descendants of the Israelites of the Bible, along with our brethren scattered amongst the other nations, like the other nations whose lineage on their father's side goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're Israelites, no matter what your outer appearance is, as long as you're a seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, But nevertheless, this is Yediah from the Great Millstone branch out in Chicago, and I'm back at you another quick lesson, and the title of this lesson is Tribulation is a Part of the Game. And hey, the scriptures tell us, man, that basically to get to the kingdom of heaven, man, it's going to be a ride, man. We're going to have to go through many different experiences, incarnations, where we're going to go through many different experiences and afflictions, man. And it's all going to lead us to that, to the kingdom of heaven, man. And it's all going to shape us to be the sons of God, But this is 1 Thessalonians 3:2. It says, and sent Timothy, our brother and minister of the Most High, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Hamashiach, to establish you and to cover you concerning your faith, that no man shall be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. And hey, this applies to us now, to everything that we go through and that we're gonna go through. Hey, we can't be stirred up by it. We can't be getting down and folding because of what we're gonna go through. No, when we took up our cross and followed the Lord because he called us, man, that's what we signed up for, man. That's a part of the job. The Lord, he called us, he tried us, man, he gave us this job, and hey, what comes with the job, harsh times, but hey, the hard is gonna, you can't compare it to the greatness that we're gonna receive, man. It says, for verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we shall suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. And hey, the Apostle Paul back during his preaching, man, he got stoned to death, man. He went through some very hard things, man. But hey, that didn't stop him from pushing, the gospel, And yeah, he got stoned, and the Lord brought him back to life, and he continued to preach. So even now, hey, the scriptures tell us that some men are going to be martyrs. If that be so, then hey, let it happen, man, because hey, we know what's going to happen if we stay faithful, unto death, But this is 1 Peter 4:1. It says, for as much then as Mashiach have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. So hey, everything that the Lord went through, hey, we got to prepare ourselves to go through it as well, man. It says that he no longer should live the rest of his life, it's like the rest of his time in the flesh, to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High, right? And hey, this world is not operating on the will of the Most High. This world pushes a opposing spirit, man, the spirit of the devil, man. So or Satan, the opposite of God, So hey, that's the spirit that this world is walking in. And hey, if we're out of that, we're not in this world. We're in it, but we're not with the spirit of this world. Hey, they're gonna oppose us. They're gonna do things to us. They're gonna put us through tribulations and afflictions. But hey, charge it to the game, man. Verse 3, it says, for the time past our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, right? And hey, that's what we did, once upon a time. But hey, we out of that darkness. It says, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. So hey, when we changed ourselves, man, when we came back to these laws and commandments, man, and we wasn't doing the same wickedness they was doing, now they look at us like, why y'all ain't doing the wickedness? Y'all weird. That's a form of persecution, man. But hey, it said arm yourself likewise. The Lord was persecuted, man. He was outcast, man, But hey, the Lord endured, man. This is Isaiah 53:2. It says, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of a dry ground. He have no form nor comeliness. And when ye shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. So, hey, when the Lord walked the earth, man, people weren't, he had his multitudes, he had his sheep that follow, man. But for the most part, people despised him, man. So, hey, that's the same thing that we're going to go through, man. It says, surely he have borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted, right? It says, but he was wounded for our transgression, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed, man. So, hey, I want to jump back up to verse 3. It says, and acquainted with grief, man. So, hey, we got to get ready to, go through the same things the Lord did, we went through. The Lord said, marvel not if this world hates you. It's not you that it hates me. He also said if they deliver me up, they're going to do the same to you. So, hey, everything that the Lord did, hey, we're going to walk that same path, man. And, hey, if you can't, then you're not worthy for the reward, man. You're not worthy for that salvation, man, Verse 5, it says, but he was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes we are healed. And we like sheep have gone astray and have turned everyone to his own way. And Yahweh have laid on him the iniquity of us all. It says he was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. So, hey, man, we got to be ready to go through that same path, man. Walking Yahweh Shai's footsteps, man. It says, Matthew 10:37 says, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So, hey, this isn't telling you don't love your children and your wife. No, it's just telling you that you got to prefer the Lord before your children and wife. Just like it tells you in the book of Corinthians, man. 1 Corinthians, the order that the Lord, deals with. Yahweh Shai, the man, the woman, then the children. It says, verse 38, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. So, hey, if you can't bear the lifestyle Yahweh Shai lived and endured through, man, then, hey, you're not worthy to receive the reward. It says, he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. It says, he that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. So, hey, we're trying to find our life, man. We lost our fleshly life to gain our spiritual life, man. And hey, the spiritual life is going to be way better, than walking in the flesh, man. And it's a reward for both. You got a good righteous reward for walking in the spirit, and a horrible destruction reward for walking in wickedness, man. So, hey, let's just go into it, man, because, hey, it's going to be some hard times. Jeremiah 36, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. It says, at last, for that day is great. For it's like it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And, hey, we're going to go through a period worse than any period ever recorded in mankind. But nevertheless, we got to get to that so that we can get to the kingdom of heaven, man, and keep our integrity, This is Romans 5:3. It says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations, which goes into pressure, oppression, affliction, also knowing that tribulation, that's that hard times we go through a work of patience, meaning steadfastness, consistency, and endurance. It says, and patience, experience, meaning, hey, you got that character built up, man. That man of the Most High, that man that the Most High wants, right? It says, in experience, hope. So, hey, it says, and hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of the Most High is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us, man. So, hey, going through all the tribulation, affliction, oppression, going through all that, it builds character, man, which leads into us increasing in our faith, So, hey, go through it, endure it, man, and come out stronger, This is 1 Peter 4:12. It says, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. So, hey, you're going to go through some stuff. The Lord is going to try you. Sirach, the 4th chapter. It's in the book of Sirach. It tells you that, hey, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul to be tempted, right? It says, but rejoice, and as much as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. So, hey, go through it now, So, hey, if you go through it now, when Yahweh Shai is glorified and he comes back, so will we be. It says, if you be reproached, shame for the name of Mashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of power resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. So, hey, the world is going to look at it in an evil way, what we doing. But, hey, spiritually, it's going to be beautiful for us, man, It says, yet if any man suffer as a Christian, meaning a follower of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify the Most High on his behalf. So if you're going through it, man, that means the Lord is dealing with you, man. That means you're a man of the Lord, man, if you endure unto the end. So, hey, glorify being a man of the Lord. Glorify and knowing that the Lord is dealing with you because he loves you, This is Acts 14:22. It says, confirm the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High, man. And hey, it's that simple, man. Much tribulation to enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, we gonna have to go through it, but hey, when we go through it, ain't gonna be no more going through it, man. So hey, make that last long plunge, man, and get to that finish line. This is 2 Ezra 7:1. It says, and when I made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me an angel which had not been sent unto me the nights afore. It says, and he said unto me, it's like it said, which had been sent unto me the nights afore. It says, and he said unto me, up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. So like it says, and I said, speak on my power. Then say he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance was narrow and like a river, right? It says, who then could go into the sea and look upon it and to rule it if he went not through the narrow? How could he come into the broad, right? And it tells you that in the Gospels too, the Lord said basically enter into the broad, enter into the straight gate. Not literal straight, but straight as an difficult position of difficulty, you know? So that you can go in there, because there's going to be many people that go into the broad gate, the open gate, the easy way, but they're going to be destroyed, right? It says, how could he come into the broad? You know, so hey, if you don't go through, jump back to his Ezra, man, if you don't go through that straight, narrow path, you can't get to the broad, man. And hey, it's going to be a position of uncomfortability, you know? 2 Ezra 7:6 says, there is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things, right? The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as there were a fire on the right hand and on the left, a deep water. So, hey, the kingdom of heaven, man, it's a narrow stairway. On one side, you got fire. On the other side, you got water, man. A dangerous place, right? It says, and the only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so that there could but one man go there at once, like you, man. So hey, you in this walk, you know, you got the brotherhood, but ultimately it's about how, you know, you conduct yourself when the men of the Lord are not around, right? It says, if the city were now given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance, right? So and to get to the kingdom of heaven, man, if we don't go through that straight, narrow path, how we gonna get it, man? You're gonna either go through that spiritual burning or that physical burning, man, you know? Verse 10, it says, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then say he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. So hey, that's our portion, man. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you know, Israelite foreigner, our portion in life is to go through that straight gate to get to the kingdom of heaven, you know. You're gonna either get there by fire or by spiritual fire, you know. It says, verse 13, for the interests of the elder world were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit. And then they labor not to enter these straight and vain things. They can never receive those that are laid up for them, man. So, hey, if you don't go through that hard path and endure through that hard path, that uncomfortable path, you know, that was looked at to this world as a shameful path, man, you can't get into the good, you know. So, hey, Lord willing, that was an edifying uplifting video. Lord willing, it was a nice exhortation to you. I came out there, just keep pushing, man. Our salvation is nearer than we believe, man, than it's ever been, man. You know, each day we get closer and closer and closer to seeing Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So hey, you know, Lord willing, I can keep fighting. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Barakathum. And I'm just go ahead and end it out. Call Halayim La, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash, Wa Abababal.